Hey guys, Stabler. Today we got a game in the Dallas for you. I got Norm Scott here, trying a new build. I got Vian switched in. I had Kuznetsov. Some of those really long range shots with these light cruisers. It's they have very short range, so increasing the range seems pretty good, but just due to the drag of the shells, the travel distance, you're getting 13, 14 seconds. Time to target type of shots, not the most effective. So trying out Vine, it seems to pay off in this game. We'll see here as the game goes on. I'm actually going to speed up the beginning of this game since my team, there's a massive gravitational object in here known as a black hole. Everyone on my team is going to be drawn towards it. Everyone on the red team is going to be drawn towards it. Luckily for us, we're in a light cruiser. It doesn't have as much mass, so I'm able to escape the gravitational effects of that black hole, and we're going to be able to play over here on the wing. Anyway, 10-15 minutes later, here we are. We're continuing down here. They do have a Helena coming this way, and then most of their team is either sitting in their base or just barely advancing. Most of our team is either sitting in the base, or we actually have a couple ships going all the way to the northeast. So, this game, 2 minutes in, I'm like, screw this. This is the stupidest game I've ever been in. And I've been in plenty of stupid games, believe me, but this one was taking the cake. But anyway, I took a shot there. I was considering holding off on that New Mexico just because we do have this Helena over here. I'm assuming he's charging right at me. For all we know, he could be coming right around this bend 2 feet away. Both of these cruisers don't really have torpedoes, though, so this is going to be a straight 1v1 American light cruiser duel. We're, of course, up-tiered in this, so we should be at a disadvantage, but we're just going to kind of outplay this guy here. And I think it's pretty instructive. These light cruisers, you might be thinking, oh, they're lightly armored. No real point in angling against them. But we're going to see how effective they can be against cruisers here, especially this Helena. He's obviously got light caliber guns as well. He's coming off broadside. He's got more distance. I thought he was going to be much closer to us, when he'd finally pop up, but that's not the case. He's going to be shooting a lot of AP at us, and I assume the Helena's probably got better DPM than the Dallas. I haven't unlocked that ship yet. Haven't had much luck in the crates this update cycle. But usually the higher tier ships are stronger, so he should be able to just raw out DPM us, but he's not really shooting the correct shell here. So we're going to pull back, use this island cover. I don't want anyone over there on the eastern flank crossfiring me, so we pull back. We want to keep this engagement 1v1. He actually doesn't have a line of sight on us. We're getting plane spotted. For some reason, he's not shooting, though. Maybe he saw us drawing back. He couldn't get the shells around. Not sure. But we're firing on reload. If we're only firing the front 2 guns, that's fine. You can see the AP coming in. And we're getting, maybe 1,000 damage on a good salvo from him. Meanwhile, a decent salvo from us getting 2,000-3,000 damage. Whatever it is, you can see 714 there. We switched to AP as he was broadside, angled back in. So good play there. Pretty even trade. But as soon as he angles back in, we switch back to the HE. And now we begin to out-trade him again. So again, we're limiting the fight to a 1v1. We're using armor angling to our advantage. For some reason, he's using the incorrect shell, and that's allowing us to get the upper hand here. You can see so far he's taken about 5,000 from us. We've taken about 15,000, 16,000 from him and got fires on him. So this is kind of what you want to do in these cruiser v cruiser situations. Protect yourself first. You want to cut down their DPM by angling, and then just pump out as much damage as you can. Shoot on reload, but you can see fire after fire on that ship, and we take him down. 24,000, almost 25,000 damage, traded for almost 6,000 damage. So that's an effective trade there, and we definitely won that engagement. Meanwhile, our team is kind of at a stalemate. They're kind of losing up north there, but they're kind of at a stalemate. You can see most of the ships on the enemy team aren't even spotted. Both teams are so far back from each other. It's just the most anemic gameplay that you'll ever see. Ganais now comes over here, though, and this is kind of a key point to help our team win here. Rather than it being an equal fight up there now, we've drawn over one of their most powerful ships. We're a Tier 5, Tier 6 match. Here we got one of their Tier 6 battleships that came over here to support that lone cruiser, but we've drawn them off now. That should give our team to the north an advantage numerically in terms of team HP, in terms of firepower, and all we have to do at this point in time is tie this guy up as long as possible and allow them to gradually whittle the team down. If they ever get forward enough to spot them, they could theoretically shoot them at that point. Then they could win that flank, and we might even win the game. Now this exchange is fairly interesting. It's one of the main reasons I picked this match to show as a video. Gneisenau is actually much faster. Well, I don't know, much faster. It's faster than the ship, as we'll see later on when we actually turn it into a chase. But we're backing up. We're going about 20 kilometers here, trying to get behind this island, trying to disengage, and then I'm going to try and see how the situation develops. We're getting as much damage out as possible, trying to start those fires, trying to get that sustained damage. That'll give us a little bit of a chance in this fight. Last known position on the map, he was coming this way, and most players, 99, well, maybe not, maybe about 93% of players will never change their course. They'll just blindly chase after you to your last known position, and it's pretty easy to juke around them. Here I'm getting a little flustered, though. I'm going to try and back into this thing here, this little nook. And the idea in my head is I want to see if he comes around kind of broadside and I can zoom past him before he can torp me and then get behind him and then maybe disengage that way. Kind of a far-fetched plan, perhaps, but that's what I was thinking. Here, though, I kind of came in at a wide angle. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that plan here. And then I got spotted, and I'm like, oh crap, how can he possibly see me? And then it's occurring to me, all right, he's proxy spotted me. I'm looking on the map. There's no destroyers in the game. There's no one on the map who else could possibly see me. Now we have confirmation. I launched that plane to double check, and he is indeed behind me. So those Tier 6, Tier 7 battleships, until they ever get another option in their Slot 3 module, you have to assume that they're running the target acquisition mod, or whatever it's called, which gives them an extra kilometer of proxy spotting. So that's what was going on there. But he did change course. He went around the other way, and now we just trying to create distance. The main thing we do not want in this engagement is to be close to that guy. You know, if I could somehow get this engagement to a 13-kilometer engagement, even open water, I'd be fine 1v1ing this guy. We'd have time to dodge those shells. We'd be pumping out the fire, and he'd be whittled down. Close range, though, not only are those secondaries going off, but his guns might actually be semi-accurate at 5 kilometers, and he might actually be able to hit us. But you can see those secondaries going off. We've switched to AP. Because he's broadside, he's close range here. We're peppering him. We're shooting just at the top of the hulls. We're getting mixtures of shots into the superstructure, which will often be overpens. Some penetrations at the lighter armored parts of that side section. But, you know, trying to shoot waterline, we'd be just getting shatter after shatter here. As the distance increases, though, the effectiveness of this play is going to be less and less. And eventually we're just going to be forced to switch to the HE shells. Still getting nice damage, though. 2,000-3,000 damage every, 5 or whatever, 6-7 seconds. You know, that's a very good damage output. And you can see we've whittled him down. I think he was basically full health when we first encountered him. And we've gotten him down below 50%. He goes around that island. We're going to try and disengage like he did, change directions. But he's demonstrating himself to be at least a semi-aware player in terms of being able to change course and change what he's doing mid-play. Not something, your average player who's still learning the game will typically try to do. If he continues around that island, we get more time, we get more distance. He does change course once again. He launched torps, which are ineffective, but that doesn't really matter. In this situation, it's pretty dangerous. What I should probably be doing is just sailing in a straight line. Every time you turn to get these additional guns in, you're slowing your ship down. But basically at this point in time, I'm assuming I'm dead. I just want to continue to tie him up for as long as possible. Again, you can see my team is starting to turn the tide up north there. And as long as we can keep this Gneisenau from going towards the center of the map, where he'll have those flanking shots, that's going to give them more and more time to get their job done up there. So that's kind of the goal. We're still getting pretty good damage here. He's having difficulty. I'm assuming this Vian slash Norm Scott perk slot 3, I believe, has a dispersion boost, and the concealment bod does. I think those are all affecting those secondaries, so they're not having much effect at us whatsoever. Even the main guns, you know, the Gneisenau guns are quite wonky to begin with, so at least from this exchange, the build seems pretty viable. This is, I think it was the first or second game I tried this build on. A couple more desperation shots, switch back to AP since he's broadside. He does take us down though, but if you look on the score up there, we are gaining control. We did 90 plus. I think we do, you know, just shy of 4 times our ship's HP in damage against 2 ships. Both of them tier 6s, you know. So this little Dallas down there, who was kind of off on his own, really not caring what happened at the start of the game due to frustration. We kind of did our job here, allowed our team to wrap it up. And I'm not going to force you to sit through the end of this because it's just as nauseating as I imagine the entire rest of the game would have been had you been watching what was going on up here. Battleships shooting HE. Now it's starting to dawn on me what's taking so long here. Anyway, we'll cut it there. That's going to do it for that one, guys. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. New to the channel, consider subscribing. A lot of World of Warships coming all the time. Questions, comments, leave them below. I do love to hear from you guys. And we'll see y'all later. All right, peace.